Hello comic book fans, today we're talking about NIOBE issue 4. This is the end of the arc, and this has been a very interesting and awesome series to talk about on the channel. From issue 1 to now, we've seen the past and present of NIOBE's life and everything that she's been going through and the task that has been placed upon her. And this issue ties up everything perfectly. The first thing that we are met with is this elder woman talking to NIOBE about finding her daughter, finding where she is because she is lost. And she tells her, if you are who you say you are, then you are my last hope. And NIOBE sitting here with like a hood on, a lot older now, and she takes the job, she takes on this task, and she even tells this old woman, like, it's very risky for you to even know me in the first place, which we've seen throughout the series. It is very true. Anybody who rides with her is in danger of people coming after them. And NIOBE, she specifically saves and tries to free slaves, particularly women, because of the other side of the religion and what they actually believe. That's what I've picked up. Then she goes into this library because this was the last known spot that the girl was at, and she finds out that she was there. And here's the unfortunate part, and this is why I picked up from reading this, that she gets captured herself there, and she is locked underneath this library and what it seems. And this is where she comes across somebody that's going to be with her up until now in the present time. But she walks past these people that are locked up, and they know her, if I'm correct. And she's walked and she's given the cell. Now they kind of know who she is, the actual prison guards and people that run that place, just because of the necklace that she wears and what it represents. But they don't believe the full extent and magnitude of who she actually is, because NIOBE, to the enemy, she is very dangerous. She's a very dangerous individual. And you see that she shares a cell with this older man that to this day is actually with her. So it's like somebody that she tagged along the way of her mission. And we are even seeing in modern time where this guy is pretty much begging for his life, and the other people that are in this cage, which were they sold slaves and put them on ships and back and forth, they are sent into the water to like drown, right? Completely get executed, burn down their ships, etc. And this is what NIOBE has been doing this whole time, especially when she finally came into her own and she has her team with her, and you see that development of who she was and who she is now. And she's actually very vicious and dangerous, especially with those that she sees that they do not deserve any mercy for the things that they've done. Some gods are very merciful and some aren't, and we see that on display here. And this story goes along because if we was here for the last issue, she was fighting this guy that's known as the Silver King, and they went from fighting to working together because he's trying to free this woman, which is also a silver being. In this world, there's this race of people that they call silvers, and they end up working together because she is encased and trapped away, along with like a lot of his people, right? Like, it's not just her, it's a lot of them, but she's the main one he is after and trying to save. And now you have this full team of people working together. They may not be the best of friends right now, every single one of them, but they all share the same task and they all share the same beliefs for the most part. And that's where they end up here. And at this point in the story, I feel like this is where the D&D Dungeons and Dragons style kind of comes to play in when they are exploring this place and trying to find the prison where the silvers are actually in. And they come across some enemies, and NIOBE, she's not as quick to like hurt people or like quick to use her abilities, but the Silver King, he is very vicious. He goes for the throat, no questions asked. If you are on the opposite side of his mission, if you are on the other hand, he's going to just take you out. And honestly, out of this entire series, I think he's my favorite character. NIOBE's cool, and some of the other characters are interesting, but he just stands out to me. I love his style and just his character in general. But they find this room, right? It was behind a wall. You see this tree here. All those pink things were holding the silvers, his people, in there, and like their souls and their very being was being trapped here. And it particularly used like to trap them there, and so they had to reverse that in order to break them free and get them out of there. And it did not hold the girl, right? It held all the other silvers, but as the Silver King explains, her power is a lot greater than anybody else's, so she's not going to be held here because that tree wouldn't have been strong enough. So after they break them out, he says she's definitely being held somewhere else nearby because the magnitude of her power could not go with everybody else. And then they do find her, and she's being hung up, and it looks like her power is being used like as a battery. And it is very sad and unfortunate how they have her. But NIOBE, she sees this, and she also understands what is coming next. But then they are interrupted by this warrior, and NIOBE has a father that once trained or once fought, but this guy, this redhead, this warrior, he's very vicious. He's actually a threat to them all. Not only does the environment they are in right now, this room prevents magic, so there's no magic. All their magic and extra power is just not working here. The only thing that works in here is pure blunt force trauma, old school style of battle. And he starts fighting with everybody because he's going to take out, he's planning on killing everybody in here. And that's when NIOBE realizes that they're kind of screwed. She doesn't say it, but it's going bad for everybody. And he was planning on taking the silver girl. He was planning on taking her, but then NIOBE gives her life, right? And she prays to her goddess, and she tells the warrior, switch, take me, don't take her. But as soon as he was going for the attack, this light happened, right? In this room that's not supposed to allow magic and power, light and power takes place in here, and it just displays the power of this goddess, that it doesn't matter where you are, it's going to work, right? If you pray, it's going to work. And NIOBE gives up her soul, her being, to the goddess in order to save the silver girl and to free her and to free everybody else. And it's an unfortunate situation that had to come to that, but her sacrifice was not in vain, and she ends up saving everybody. And you can see everybody kind of just hugging themselves and resting there, knowing that it is over and knowing that it is all said and done. And that's pretty much the end of the issue. And they have the final page and the final panel showing the goddess herself. And again, this is just a great series, and it coming to an end like this, for me, it was bittersweet. I didn't know it was going to end like that, but it was a beautiful ending to this story and to everything she stood for and fought for. And all the other characters in here was awesome as well. And this is where it ends right here. And that's I got for this video. Thank you guys for watching this video. Like, share, and subscribe for more, and thank you for watching.